First step is going to be to remove the bumper cover. First thing we do for removing the bumper cover is pull the grill out. Put your fingers through the grill and pull. Same thing on the other side. On this side, we just grab onto the grill, wiggle, get your fingers behind it, pull, and it's out. Now we're going to take out the bolts that hold the bumper cover in. The bolts go up from the bottom. They're an Allen socket. We're going to put our Allen into the bolt. Other side has the same bolt. Up with the Allen socket. Now we're going to pull the sides of the bumper cover off. They clip onto the bottom of the fender. What you do is push down and pull out. They come right off. Same thing on the other side. Same thing on this side. Push down, pull out, and it'll come loose. Now we're going to pull there's a bolt that goes through the bumper cover into the splash pan. One on each side. Small torques. These tend to get ripped out. A lot of cars won't have them. Same bolt on this side, small torques. Now we're going to take the bumper cover and slide it forward. Once we wiggle it out a little bit, there's two connections you're going to have to disconnect here. One is going to be this black plastic clip. When you do this, windshield washer fluid is going to come out. We can set the cover down a little bit. I pull this hose and immediately fold it over and pinch it tight. That keeps us from losing too much of the fluid. Then I'll take a zip tie and I'll zip tie it into this tight position so that I can continue to work without losing any more washer fluid. If you have fog lights, you'll have to unplug them now. The way to unplug them is to take a small screwdriver, put it in this slot, push back. When you hear that click, it'll come right off. Same thing on both sides. Now we're going to take this bumper support off. There's 4 bolts that hold the bumper support on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take them right off and spin them out. With the bolts out, the support comes right off. Set it aside. We're going to pull the 4 bolts on this side. Yours may have only 3, some have a bolt here, some don't. On this support, this small 10mm nut right there is going to hold the support to the front of the car. That's okay. You leave that nut on. There's no reason to take it apart any further. we're going to do here is take one of the bolts that held the bumper on. We're going to put that bolt through here and thread it in. What that's going to do is it's going to be a guide when we slide the nose forward to give us enough room to work on the timing belt. I'm going to put one on this side and the same thing on the other side. Again, one of the bolts that held the bumper on, thread it through the radiator support into the subframe. You don't need to have it tight, just get some threads on it. That'll allow us to slide the nose forward and rest on this bolt when we get to that point. Now we're going to pull the bolts on the top that hold the radiator support to the car. 2 Torx bolts here. Pull those right out. You have a 3rd bolt here where the fender bolts to the radiator support. Then we go and do the same thing on the other side. On this side, same thing, 2 bolts. That's the top. Right here, this bolt on the side. Now we're going to take these 2 screws out that hold the air intake on. Cap off, that'll make it so there isn't a vacuum in the cooling system. Once the radiator cap is off, turn this screw out. In this case, it looks like the drain is plugged slightly, so we're going to pull the cap a little further. You're going to let this drain until it's completely empty. Now we can slide the nose forward. That'll give us enough room to work on it. We can leave it right there. What I'm going to do is go ahead and take this whole nose piece off so that you can see what I'm doing on the front of the engine a little bit better. But all you need to do is get to this point, slide the nose forward, and then you can fit your hands down inside in order to be able to work on everything. Now to drain the rest of the coolant out of the engine so when we take the water pump off it doesn't splash, we're going to take this drain plug right here out. It's on the bottom of the water pump housing, right on the bottom of the water pump. Pop that out, it'll drain the rest of the coolant out, and then you won't spill any more during the rest of the job. I've slid the